Hey everyone, today I want to talk about Sezzle because if you've ever seen one of those pay later buttons at checkout and wondered what it's actually like, I've been using it recently and want to share my experience. Now, the whole idea is pretty simple. Instead of paying everything up front, Sezzle splits your purchase into 4 smaller payments spread out over 6 weeks. There's no interest, no credit check, and approval takes just a few seconds. And when it works, it can make purchases feel a lot easier to manage, especially if something is just outside your normal budget. But like anything involving money, there are some things you want to know first, because depending on how you like to shop or manage your spending, it might not be the best fit for everyone. So in this video, I'll go over how Sezzle actually feels to use day to day, what I liked, what I felt was a little limiting, and who I think this works best for. So setting up the app was quick. I just linked my debit card, answered a few basic questions, and got approved in under a minute. There wasn't any credit check, no paperwork, and from there, using it is just as easy. You've got 2 ways to pay. Either you select Sezzle directly at checkout at stores like Target or Walmart, or you use the virtual card inside the app. That's the one I ended up using the most. You just tap make a purchase request, enter the amount, and if it's approved, which it usually happens instantly, you get a temporary Visa card you can use anywhere Visa is accepted. Then once you buy something, the total is automatically split into 4 payments. You pay the first part right away, and the rest is scheduled every 2 weeks. Before you confirm, the app shows you the exact timeline so you know what's coming and when. What's nice is that it works the same whether you're buying something small or something big. For me, yeah, it made everyday spending feel lighter, but it also helped when I wanted to spread the cost out over a larger item. It gave me breathing room without loading up a credit card. Then after that, everything runs through the app, and it's set up to be really simple. Doesn't take long to figure things out. Your upcoming payments are listed right on the home screen, so it's always clear what's due and when. If you want to double check a purchase or look at the schedule, it's all right there. And if you need to move a payment date, you can. There's usually a small fee, but you've got the option. Or if you want to just finish off the balance, there's a button to pay it all at once. And what I didn't expect is the app doubles as a kind of shopping hub. You'll see deals in places like Amazon, Walmart, even Airbnb or Hotels.com. If you shop through those links, you can use Sezzle at checkout. It's a nice little touch if you want to stick with stores that support it directly. Overall, the app feels designed to keep things easy. You don't have to dig around to see what you owe, and there aren't any complicated settings, just a clean layout that gives you control without making it a project. And hey, if you're curious about trying Sezzle, I'll drop a link down in the comments and in the description. And we can usually get some special deals there that you won't find if you go directly to their website, so feel free to check those out if you want to see what's available. Now, even though Sezzle is known for being interest-free, there are a few fees that you should keep in mind. Under normal use, you won't run into them at all, but if something goes wrong, that's when they show up. If a payment fails, there's a small penalty, usually a few bucks, but it can go up to about 7. There's also a late fee, which tops out at just under 17, but that really only happens if you don't take any action. Most of the time, if you reschedule in advance or switch payment methods, you can avoid it. There's also something called Sezzle On Demand, which is kind of like a short-term loan for certain purchases. This one does include a small service fee. I tested it out. It was about $6 on a $300 order, but that's clearly shown at checkout, and it's separate from the standard pay in 4 plans. So while it's not totally fee-free in every situation, it really comes down to knowing the rules. As long as you keep up with your payments, you're not going to get hit with anything unexpected. Now, what really stood out to me is how easy it made it to stretch my money just a little bit further. For everyday things like clothes, gifts, or even booking a trip, it let me split the cost without much thought. And since there's no credit check, it feels better than applying for a new card. The flexibility is another plus. Being able to move a payment or pay off the balance early gives you control, and since the app lays everything out clearly, you're not getting blindsided. For someone who wants to keep better track of their spending, it's actually easier than waiting on a credit card bill at the end of every month. But of course, there are some trade-offs, and the biggest one is that it's still easy to overspend if you're not careful. Just because the payment looks smaller doesn't mean the purchase costs any less, and I can totally see how that could push you to buy more than you planned. And it's actually also not ideal for really large expenses unless you use Sezzle's monthly plans. That'll need separate approval and can include extra fees, so it's a different setup entirely. And while most of the time it's free to use, those late or failed payment fees can pile up if you're not paying attention. It's not something you can set and forget, but overall, I'd say Sezzle is best for anyone who wants a little more control over how they pay, especially if you want to avoid credit but still keep some flexibility. It's easy to use, it doesn't cost extra if you're organized, and it can be a handy tool for short-term budgeting as long as you use it right. And if Sezzle sounds like it might be a good fit for you, check out that link in the description. Like I mentioned earlier, we usually have special offers there that you won't find if you head straight to the main site. Also, if you're interested in working with us or sponsoring a future video, just reach out using the email in the description below. Hopefully this review was helpful, and if it was, I always appreciate a thumbs up. And if you got questions, leave them in the comments below. I try to answer as many as I can. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.